What's up, traders? Welcome back to the channel. We're Generation Pips, and this is our weekly Forex analysis video. As always, whether you're new to trading or a seasoned pro, this video is going to be packed with some of our top trade setups, some things you need to know going into this week. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for regular updates. I'm Eli, grab your coffee, and let's go ahead and hit these charts. All right, so we got the DXY. We're going to talk about this a little bit because last week we had a lot of news coming off NFP week on Friday. So the dollar is shorting. So the weekly time frame, we can just observe here, and we can see that we have support, 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 and support, as well as resistance, resistance, resistance. So we are in a range on the weekly time frame for the dollar, but we're going to drill into the daily time frame to kind of look at that a little bit better. So on a daily, we can kind of zoom out some. We can see that we had some resistance here at the top, as well as support. So this support was most recently broken on Friday, as we can see that big bearish candle. So going into this week, we got a couple things that I'm looking at for the dollar. I'm seeing if the dollar can get a pullback and retest this area that we broke through, potentially short back down to this next area of support. If not, then the exact opposite. I will see if the dollar will come back to support, find a little bit of support in this area, and then push back up here before going back lower. So still overall short bias now that we have strong bearish momentum on a daily time frame. We break down to the 4-hour time frame. We can see a little bit of intraday movement on a 4-hour. This is that pullback that I'll be expecting. Just a pullback into this area before shorting, and vice versa, as we talked about. So that's going to be the DXY going into this week. All right, so next up we're going to look at USD CHF. This is going to be our first pair of the week. On the weekly time frame, we can see that price had a nice resistance in this area that we've been selling off of. We've had a lot of great trading opportunities with this pair. Looking for some more downside potential. As we said, the dollar is very much so bearish. So drill down to the daily time frame. We can see that we are in a downtrend, identify with that trend line, as well as that most recent support area that was broken right in here. So we broke through there, strong rejection. I'm going to see if we can get a pullback and get an entry in this area and then continue short. And then same thing as we talked about with the DXY, may see price tap back into this most recent area of support and then pull back up in here before going short again. So that's what I'm looking at right now for USD CHF. We'll break that down to the 4-hour time frame, and we can see a little bit clearer on that pullback area that I'm looking for before we end up going short. And then vice versa, if price comes here, no entries, just wait to see if we get a bounce to come back into this area before we go short. But that's going to be USD CHF going into this week. All right, so we're going to hop over to the yen pairs here. On the weekly time frame, we have AUD JPY. Price was pretty much bullish at one point in time. As we can see, price was moving to the upside, found resistance in here, but we broke through, strong breakout, but we had a massive reversal on the yen side. So what I'm going to look for going into this week is some pullbacks back into this resistance area before looking for some more shorts. We may see some shorting opportunities into here on the weekly or back down to this overall support area on the weekly time frame. So we're going to drill this into the daily time frame just to get a better look of what we're trying to attack this week. Zoom out a little, we can see that resistance area 1, 2, 3, use that support, So I'm going to see if price can pull back into that area that we talked about. So pull back in here before going short. So drilling into the 4-hour time frame, we'll get an entry at. We have that area identified here. So we'll see if price can pull back into this area before going back short. And that's going to be AUD JPY going into this week. Now we're going to look at Euro JPY weekly time frame. We can see that overall wise, we are in a bullish market trying to come back into this area of support. So we had 1, 2. So it looks like we're making a rapid movement back into this area. So if we go down to the daily time frame, we can see that price was in a bullish channel and pretty much very corrective channel. We broke through, retested this area of support here, and now we're breaking through this area here. So I'm going to see if we can get a pullback into this area before going back down to that weekly area that we just saw. So going to 4-hour time frame, we can see that this is that zone. See if price can come back into that zone and see if we can go short going into this week. And that's going to be Euro JPY. And the very last pair I got for you guys this week is going to be AUD CAD on the weekly time frame. We can see that price is pretty much in a range at the range high up here, resistance, and the range low down here at the bottom at support. So drilled into the daily time frame and see what's actually happening on most recent time frames. And we zoom out a little bit, we can see that price was very much so bullish, but we did have an area of resistance that was used as support that we just broke through going into this week. And we also came back and retested that area. And it looks like we're trying to make a move back down to that support area down there on the daily time frame. So what I'm going to do is go down to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour, I can see that price is very much so bearish. We also did reject off of this area with a bearish engulfing candle. That would have been something I would have loved to get into this trade with, but I was not looking at this market last week. So we're going to see if we can possibly get a short going into this week off of this area here, and then dropping back down for a 1 to 3 risk to reward. So this week, just seeing if we can get a small pullback back into this area, another rejection candle, and then going to go short going into this week. That's going to be AUD CAD. Well, thank you guys for tuning into this week's analysis video. For more content, follow us on Instagram at GenerationPips. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and drop your comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys. Stay tuned for next week's analysis. Once again, happy trading.